Potentially frustrating current creative issues in All Elite Wrestling revealed, with Tony Khan reportedly not finalizing booking plans until the day of some television shows. However, one member of the AEW creative team has defended Tony Khan and the logic behind it. Details on that, plus an update on Will Ospreay's status and WWE's possible plans for the former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. The Creed brothers and Ivy Nile are set for a WWE main roster call-up beginning tonight on Monday Night Raw. The Young Bucks' plans for Full Gear may have possibly been revealed amid these creative frustrations right now. MJF's Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship match at Full Gear has a slight change to it. We'll let you know what that is. Drew McIntyre, his current contract status has also been revealed, with some rumors he may have signed a new contract. An injury update on Shane McMahon after his injury at WrestleMania 39 earlier this year, and also an update on how many tickets have been sold thanks to John Cena coming back to WWE. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's start off talking about the creative system in AEW right now and some creative frustrations with maybe a last-minute nature to the creative process in All Elite Wrestling. AEW has a potentially frustrating creative environment with talent not knowing what's happening on show days and, quote, in the long term. With Tony Khan being the creative head of AEW, Dave Meltzer has unearthed issues surrounding the creative process in the company. Speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Meltzer revealed the reason why some shows are the way they turn out to be, saying, quote, "If you follow AEW, you know that a lot of the stuff is being decided at much later periods than previous. Guys are getting their information on what they're doing later, and decisions are being made later. There's times the day of the show, sometimes you don't even know what the plans are. It's almost at times like we used to talk about with WWE, which also was very frustrating for talent. A lot of guys have a lot of input in what they're doing, but they don't really know a long-term direction. So they're doing stuff and they're coming up with ideas, but when you don't really know exactly a long-term direction, you're kind of coming up with ideas week to week too, but you don't know where the ultimate thing is, and maybe the ultimate thing hasn't even been decided. So that's one of the reasons that the shows are like how they are." Of course, it's previously been well documented that Vince McMahon would make changes to a show sometimes as it was going on the air and while it was live, with the most notable example and most recent one being the Raw after WrestleMania this past April. Khan's creative situation in AEW has not been helped by some other forces, such as the firing of CM Punk and injuries to major names like the likes of Adam Cole and recently Bryan Danielson as well. But last week's AEW drew the least number of viewers this year thus far in the regular usual Wednesday night time slot. Do you think that's a reason as to why, because of these constant creative changes and these last minute changes, or certainly a last minute decision making as to this creative process? Let me know your thoughts about that. But one person who's influential backstage in AEW, working as a coach and producer and having creative input, has actually defended the creative process in AEW, and that is Jerry Lynn. He took to social media to react to this report. It was actually an aggregator, Wrestle Purist, posted this report, and Jerry Lynn responded, which you can see on the screen right now. He said, quote, "Because wrestlers and God knows who else have and continue to leak info to the sheets, podcasts, etc. So Tony tries to keep things confidential. You wouldn't want to know everything before you see a movie. Anyone who leaks info is doing damage to the product and the industry." Do you agree with what Jerry Lynn is saying there? Or is he kind of missing the point when it comes to the longer term plans? Or is it a case of Tony Khan just keeping the cards close to the vest to ensure that stuff doesn't get leaked out? Or is that not really reflective of what we're seeing on AEW television from a week-to-week standpoint? Let me know your thoughts about that. Really interested to know your reaction to all of this. Now, Will Ospreay, plenty of people talking about Will Ospreay and his pro wrestling future with his contract with New Japan Wrestling set to expire early next year. Current IWGP United Kingdom champion Will Ospreay has been the talk of the wrestling world as his New Japan contract is set to expire in February of 2024. With Ospreay's deal coming up, he's set to receive many big offers from many promotions, including New Japan to stay, WWE, AEW, as well as TNA. Ospreay has previously stated he didn't want to relocate to the United States, which would put a dampener on his chances of joining WWE, though he has since said that he would be more open to moving to America than he would be previously. Speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer discussed one idea thrown around in WWE regarding Ospreay, being that of the NXT Europe show, that it would be built around him should he not move to the United States. Meltzer said, quote, "One idea that was thrown at me was the idea of NXT Europe built around Will Ospreay. How much money they're going to spend on that, and the revival of NXT Europe starts that thing of obviously what happened with the original NXT UK and its effect on the independent scene in England really hurt it badly. But at the same time, they didn't run regular shows or anything like that. They just did TV tapings. They've got the go-ahead from Endeavor to do it, but you just don't know exactly what that entails. So the question becomes, do you think Will Ospreay, if he came into WWE, would just be used on NXT Europe? Would that be a waste of his abilities, or could possibly they tempt him to relocate to the United States with a big money offer? The Creed brothers and Ivy Nile, they're now on the main roster beginning tonight on Monday Night Raw. Over the weekend, Chad Gable took to Twitter to issue an Alpha Academy Open challenge for the show tonight, following Raw Brand's tour of Germany. The challenge was accepted by Brutus and Julius Creed from NXT, with the pair reportedly set to be called up to the main roster following the match. Well, we no longer have to wonder, as WWE has now officially announced that the Creed brothers have accepted the open challenge from Alpha Academy for tonight's show, with them set to make their debuts on the main roster. In the video uploaded by WWE, Ivy Nile is also present with the Creeds, seemingly confirming that she'll also be making her way to main events, to the main roster on Raw, alongside Brutus and Julius Creed as well. So the match has been confirmed. Also set for tonight's show is a tag team match pitting DIY against Imperium's Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci 2. So the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile, they're officially caught up to the main roster. That will be confirmed with their match against the Alpha Academy tonight on Raw. Switching back to AEW and maybe this creative process and some of the creative issues right now. AEW Full Gear takes place on November 17, and the plans for the Young Bucks, two-thirds of the Ring of Honor six-man tag team champions, former AEW World Tag Team Champions, are yet to be officially confirmed. Earlier, it was reported that there was a potentially frustrating situation in AEW that was leading to creative decisions being made later than previously had been the case. The report from Dave Meltzer would also state that there's times the day of the show that sometimes you don't even know what the plans are, noting that it was almost at times like we used to talk about in WWE. With AEW Full Gear under 2 weeks away, plans for the Young Bucks still haven't been made official. Dave Meltzer addressed the booking of Matt and Nick Jackson on Wrestling Observer Radio, saying, quote, "The last I heard is that they may do Big Bill and Ricky Starks versus the Young Bucks at Full Gear, but that's not official. It's just one of the things that was kind of thrown out there," end quote. Now, as I mentioned, that meshes with the earlier report, which stated that a lot of guys have a lot of input on what they're doing, but they don't really know the long-term creative direction as well. So, do you think this is just a good example of those creative issues that we were talking about when it comes to, well, the assumption is that maybe the Young Bucks are going to be facing Big Bill and Ricky Starks, but again, the long-term direction still hasn't been decided, and also that's why for events like Full Gear, as well as AEW All In, of course, that card was really finalized a week, 2 weeks before the actual show took place, is the reason why, because these decisions aren't being made until later on. Let me know your thoughts about that. Now, continuing to talk about Full Gear, MJF's match, he's going to be pulling double duty, has had a bit of a change. Now, as previously confirmed, MJF will be working 2 matches at AEW Full Gear 2023, the third time in recent memory he's pulled double duty. MJF defends his AEW World Championship against Switchblade Jay White in one of the headline matches, but he'll also be defending the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. The challengers will be Austin and Colton Gunn of Bullet Club Gold, and with MJF's usual partner Adam Cole still out injured, his mystery partner for this particular match has yet to be revealed. However, one thing that has been revealed is a change to the scheduling of a match. AEW has now announced on Twitter that the match won't be taking place on the pay-per-view itself, but rather on the 0-hour pre-show, which airs for free on social media beforehand. So again, this isn't really a deviation from the norm, because of course it's actually on the 0-hour pre-show that MJF and Adam Cole won the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships in the first place back at AEW All In at London's Wembley Stadium. A bit of an update on Drew McIntyre and his WWE status right now, particularly when it comes to his contract. The clock is ticking on Drew McIntyre's contract right now. Recently, Fightful had reported that many top WWE stars whose contracts are expiring in 2024 have yet to be approached by WWE. Now, Fightful can't say that he's not been approached, but as of right now, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select is reporting that Drew McIntyre has not signed a new contract with WWE. There had been some social media rumors indicating that McIntyre had re-signed, but according to what he and WWE have told people, that is not true. Now, obviously, we'll likely be updating this repeatedly as the process goes, as Drew McIntyre is the first major domino that could fall in the TKO era of re-signing major talent to WWE contracts. Drew McIntyre has less than 5 months left on his WWE deal, and it's actually up ahead of next year's WrestleMania. There was quite a lot of rumors and reports out there suggesting it was actually through WrestleMania, but the suggestion is actually it's up ahead of next year's WrestleMania. Other talent, namely Becky Lynch, Sheamus, and others, have deals up in 2024 as well. So, of course, we get any more details on that, we'll let you know in the future. Shane McMahon, what's the latest when it comes to Shane McMahon and his injury status after his WrestleMania injury disaster? Well, Declan McMahon has provided an update on his father, Shane McMahon, who suffered a quad tear at WrestleMania 39. Shane McMahon took part in an impromptu match on the second night of WrestleMania 39 in April 2023. During the match against The Miz, McMahon attempted to hit a leapfrog but had a bad landing. This led to Snoop Dogg punching The Miz and starting another impromptu match that the rapper would go on to win. Now, Shane McMahon's son, Declan McMahon, spoke about his father's recovery on Developmentally Speaking, saying, quote, his rehab is going very, very well. He's gotten back to jogging, squatting, and he's starting to work out again. It's getting kind of difficult for him to bend side to side, but his rehab is going really, really well. He's making phenomenal progress. So the doctor said all the time that he's healing quicker than they thought, and when he tore it, he completely tore his quad tendon. That's a very long, hard recovery, and he's been crushing rehab. He's been doing his thing, and hopefully we'll get back soon. And obviously, you want to see your dad be able to do what they love. My dad loves wrestling. So, Shane McMahon working towards his recovery. Finally, an update on John Cena and how he's boosted WWE SmackDown ticket sales since his return to WWE amid this ongoing Hollywood strike. John Cena returned to WWE television on the September 1st, 2023 episode of SmackDown, having previously appeared at WrestleMania 39. Since his return, Cena has teamed with the likes of Seth Rollins to take on Imperium at the Superstar Spectacle in India. He teamed with LA Knight to take on the Bloodline at Fastlane. He appeared on the October 10 episode of NXT, reflecting on the experience of something special. In between the PLE and NXT appearances, he's also been on a number of episodes of SmackDown and also competing in dark matches. These regular Friday night appearances have been a ticket mover for WWE, it seems. Dave Meltzer discussed the topic of Cena at SmackDown on Wrestling Observer Radio, saying, quote, since he came back, they've had over 10,000 every single week on Friday night. They were always drawing well anyway, but when he came back, he is a mover, he is a difference maker. So far, Cena has faced the Bloodlines Uso and Sikoa, Montez Ford and Dominic Mysterio in dark singles matches at the SmackDown shows. In multi-man action, he teamed with Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso and LA Knight to face the Bloodline, Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa, and the Judgment Day, that being Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor. He also teamed with LA Knight to face Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa at Fastlane, defeating the Bloodline members. As previously reported at Crown Jewel, he'll also face off against Solo Sikoa in singles action as well. But there you go, guys. This is the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.